do his little thing. He's going to edit. Cari amici sportivi, welcome to another edition of Milanismo Worldwide, where we go down the 401 this time, heading west to La Città of Toronto, Milan Club Toronto, Maurizio Jacobucci. With me, one of the are you officially president? Is Pat president, vice president? What? Put yourself over, Maurizio. Introduce.
We don't have any designations.
There's no.
No, the designations come from some of our select members that insist on calling me presidente, but I think it's got something to do with the little Toronto-Montreal thing going on.
Yeah.
But we don't. Whatever.
There's no titles.
No, Pat and I are co-founders of the club. You call me whatever you want to call me.
We're gonna go with Maurizio. But Maurizio, let me ask you before we get into Milan Club Toronto, if I can go back in time and look at your bedroom as a kid, which posters in your room, which player Milan? Who was your favorite player growing up?
Back then, I didn't have that many, but you said posters, and it rings true is that I had a pull-out poster from the Forza Milan magazine, and one side was Roberto Baggio, the other side was George Weah.
Nice.
And I had that up in the room, lack of posters, but I had a bunch of other stuff that I actually got in Italy. The one and only time I've been to Italy was in '92, and in my parents' hometown, there was a small Milanista bar, and he handed me all kinds of scarves and flags and postcards and whatever. But I guess the love grew then. It wasn't one single player, I guess. Actually, I thought about it today, and I remember being fascinated with seeing Gullit's dreadlocks and Van Basten and Rijkaard and Maldini and all that generation of players, and then the red and black just it
rang true to our hearts. It just seeped through it. Yeah,
it seeped into the skin. It's absorbed in here.
And I could see, look at that. We have all your merch in the back there. We even saw you got the hat, you got the face mask that you were showing me there. Show the viewers. Look at that. The Milan Club Toronto, established as 2017, and it reminded me, Maurizio, because I remember Milan Club Montreal had retaken the reins back in that time, 2016. I remember you guys were about the same time, but why don't you talk to me about that? How come, like, with Milan Club Toronto, was there one before you guys, or was it the brand new? If you want to talk about the history of the club.
So the history of our club was basically the idea was, I guess it kind of developed with when I started using social media back a few years ago, and following Dave in Philly was the first spot, and then finding you guys as well in New York and so on. And then the first time I'd seen Milan in person was against Olympiacos here in Toronto. A few days later, we were I was going for a family trip down to Grove City in Pennsylvania, not far from Pittsburgh, an hour away. And we went to see Man City and Milan, and back and forth with Dave. And as everybody knows, Dave is such a welcoming, loving guy that he's like, come by, we're having a tailgate, have some drinks or whatever. And got to know Dave and a bunch of other really cool guys. And even actually guys from Stereo Serie A were down there, I believe. Nice. A couple of them. But anyways, then I'm like, why don't we have something like this in Toronto? And I started searching and digging and searching and kicking and screaming, and nothing really developed or came from it. I found an old email address for the original Milan club in Toronto, and to no answer. I dove in headfirst one day and changed my personal Twitter account to a Milan Club TO and dove in with the backing of you guys in New York and Philly. You just started springing up from there and growing, and then eventually getting a place to meet and a place to watch the games and so on.
It's like an organic thing, right? And from an idea, and you guys, do you do paying members? And if you do, how many members are you guys at right now? Or what does a member of Milan Club Toronto get? What is it entitled to?
So we're at, I would say, about 50 members right now. Even with the pandemic and the rise of the Rossoneri, it's bringing out quite a few other people. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to really get together, and due to the pandemic, and to want to make this more an exclusive experience, we've decided to do a paid membership of $50 and the members only viewing parties or whatever you want to call get-togethers as much as we can. And with that $50, it will give you a discount at the bar we attend on non-Milan game days, trying to get people into the bar when we're not officially there. And a local shop that supplies various city stuff and so on is also one of our sponsors, and you get a discount there and a welcome gift, which this past season was a toque with our logo on it. We've done scarves before. We've done our hoodies as well.
Nice.
That are available for members at members perks. I guess you could say that you get first dibs on placing an order. Even just trying to manage. Last season we also did a calendar, which was worked out really well, where we had a bunch of 12 different sponsors to build that nest egg for the club. So if we do want to make scarves, let's say, or hats or whatever, we're not going out of pocket. We have a little bit of a nest egg to dip into.
No, the same thing with Milan Club Montreal, right? It's not like we're taking the money and going lavishly, going out to dinners. We're taking that money and we're spending it at. Now we're trying to get a scarf done. Talking Montreal or Toronto, it's it's exactly the same situation. Taking a membership money and just putting it back into the club, right? Would it be Christmas parties now? Obviously,
Well, that's another thing that we've done. We've actually, on occasion, if we know it's one of the members' birthdays and they're in attendance, we'll grab a cake or grab some sweets or whatever, buy a round of coffees or a round of drinks, whatever.
Yeah, same. We say the club. As we like to say, President is paying for it, but in the end, it is the club paying for it. But so 50 members. It's you're giving some swag there to start off, and I know I like to ask everybody this. We went to the AIMC at the beginning, and then we decided not to, and I'm getting the different type of feedbacks from different clubs, where most of the clubs in Europe actually use it because it's good for them. But do you have a problem, Mario, to not be recognized by the AIMC, just like ourselves? Is that a hard decision for you guys?
No, not at all. When we were first starting up, it was I thought that was one of the key ingredients for starting the club was, you need to be recognized by AIMC. Good luck getting in touch with them in English or Italian. Didn't work out. Their address was at a Hotmail account and there was no response. So it just ran with it. We were, I guess, made enough noise within our first year that we were recognized by Milan themselves, never mind AIMC, where they, as you guys experienced, we had the Masato event and they came knocking, can you throw on an event? Sure. No problem. Milan comes knocking. There's no question about it. You answer that door or whatever it may be.
And it's not like we needed to be part of the AIMC to have that, right? Look, they came to you.
Not at all.
He came to us. He went to New York. He went to, so it's all these cities. In the end, it's like they want to go where the fans are. And in the end, we've seen that Milan has done a bit more for Milan clubs, especially in North America. But it's a long road ahead, right? We've seen a lot of improvements, but definitely a long road ahead, especially for Milan clubs here in North America. I like to ask this at the end, but here we're shooting from the hip. Mari, it's you. If you had their ear right now, what would you like them to improve on? What would you, let's just say they are listening to you right now. Forget the IMC, like Milan themselves, right? Maybe what would you like to tell them?
They seem to be, as far as their fan relations go, they are keeping us in the loop with various activations that they've been doing, which is great. It's nice to see. If anything, I would love them to make a push towards taking a reign of these Milan clubs abroad. Never mind AIMC doing something for us, whether it's Montreal, Toronto, Philly, New York. There's a guys popping up in Boston, for example, or I think just recently I was in touch with somebody from St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Doing something to reign all these clubs under one umbrella, and I don't know, maybe making available some other perks for us here. We're basically representing the colors anywhere we go. Hardly ever do I leave the house without something that's red and black, Milan related or not. It's red and black is just that the mind frame. And I've actually got my kids thinking red and black as well. They'll point stuff out to me. Oh, look, Daddy's Milan colors.
Nice.
So, and they're 7 and 4. So I'm working on it.
Starting them young, it's right. I like, they've come a long way, right? I remember when Bonucci had shown up for the Grand Prix of Montreal, we found out through his wife's Instagram, right? And we
I
found
remember
it.
seeing that.
I remember being like seriously, like whether he doesn't want to be bothered or not. At the time, we found it a bit, like, and this is at the time that remember their social media game was this day in the history of Milan, and they would just show like a clip of it.
Yeah.
They've come a long way with the app and communication, but a lot of the things that have come back to us, and I know we can't really talk about going for a trip. It's the ease to get to the San Siro. And it just seems that we sound sometimes like we're in a mom movie. Okay, you're gonna call this guy over here. This guy's gonna get you in touch with this guy over here, and then it's like maybe a direct line. And that's the frustration part for me is from there. It's getting better, but I just found that it was a bit hard because we have one of the members, unfortunately, he's in a wheelchair, and he was able to go a couple of years ago,
Right.
and trying to get in contact with them, and there was nothing, and he had to do everything on his own. Okay, when he got there, he got help, but maybe opening up that kind of channel of communication.
But it's interesting that you say that this guy here and this guy there, and it happened with a short little quip or little anecdote. Is that when Pat was in Milano, he was in touch with Masato, and he ran into him at the Casa Milan at the Milan store and helped him out, directing him towards getting tickets. And he was like remembered us and Pat and so on from when he was here. It's like not only did we meet a Milan legend, you become friends with them. We exchange a few messages here and there now and again, and it's like I don't know.
It's surreal.
It is. And he is one of the club ambassadors for a reason. A person like him is perfect for that role. He's always so welcoming. He's like one of us.
Yeah, definitely. And like I think it was President saying this is surreal. I have Masato. I'm driving Masato with the Champions League cup in the trunk. So these are kind of great things that we're able to do for clubs. How about Milan Club Toronto? The clubs will go as the team goes. I think we've seen it. From
Right.
you guys from since 2017. Do you guys have certain goals as a club, or it's like, hey, you know what, whether we're 5 members or 100 members, or is it just like giving back to the Milanistas? Do you guys have anything like specifically set, or it's shoot from the
You shoot from the hip, roll and see how it goes. Like we're trying to do, trying to really make it exclusive as far as members only, because we had occasions where people would be showing up every week. Okay, you want to be here every week? Okay, why don't you contribute a little something to the club? Not to sound like, money is such a big thing. It's not. But you want to be part of something. You're here every week. Contribute to and become a member as well, and be part of this. So that's one of the reasons we've also gone into the whole like members only thing, because we had instances where people would come every week, but then when it came around to wanting to participate in a raffle or something, yeah, they'll throw out the $20 every time, but you ask them for $50 a year, and it's like, no. So
we have the same kind of people in Montreal and in Toronto, but but you guys, like you're saying, shooting from the hip, wouldn't need like a specific goal, but other than this nice little swag, Maurice, I believe you guys have the exact same perk, because we have people from Denver, we have people from Dublin, Ireland, that's part of Milan Club Montreal, because they want to be part of this WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Maurice, how's the WhatsApp group in Toronto? Is it as out of this world as this one here in Montreal?
Do you mean the one that I have on mute?
I think everybody's on mute on those ones there, but I was laughing because Mauricio was telling me, he's like, no, I need to put the phone down, this and that. And I told him, like, I opened up mine at 15 minutes in and there was already 99 messages.
No.
But how is it a negative or a positive of Milan Club Toronto?
I guess that's also one of the perks. You're a paid member, you get to be part of, and you have WhatsApp, you get to be part of that group. And then I step away. You, to each their own. You figure out how you want to monitor that, if you want all those notifications or not. Like I said, I have mine on mute. In particular, during games, I don't touch my phone until it's halftime. And usually I just clear the notifications and I don't actually read what's there, because I can't. It drives me nuts. I don't know how someone watches a game, but your face is buried in your handheld device, but you're commenting. you're commenting on every single play that's happening. How did you even see that play that's happening if your head is buried in your phone? That's just me.
That's just no, but I know that it's kind of fun sometimes because they'll talk about their feelings or this or like they'll post the stories that they'll post and say, oh, did you hear about this one, that one? So it's always fun. And I hear that we have Tommy Time and you have Facebook Frank on your end. So you see, it's very balanced, these WhatsApp groups, Mauricio.
Well, I start handing out red cards in our WhatsApp group. Wait until I start telling them they're going to ban them for 2 days, kick them out of the group until a couple of days, and then they can come back in afterwards.
I think President is gonna like that idea there. But Maurice, before I let you go, how about anybody that's listening to this in Toronto? How do they get in contact with you guys? How did they become a member? And maybe talk about, other than this coronavirus, where would you guys hang out usually?
So for starters, we hang out at a really nice family-run bar called the Mills Tap House and Grill. It's just outside of Toronto. It's in Vaughan. They got all kinds of beers for those beer lovers. That's why they call themselves the Mills Tap House Mills Tap House Bar and Grill. So that's where you'll find us. You'll walk up to the front door and you'll find one of these posters right on the front door, our scarf, flag in the bar. You can reach us pretty much on email, milanclubto@gmail.com. The various other social medias. We have a Facebook page, Milan Club Toronto, the Twitter, Milan Club TO, and Instagram, Milan Club Toronto as well. Either of those.
About the merch, Maurice, can they see the merch anywhere? Can anybody purchase any kind of merch, members or not? Nothing.
As far as the merchandise goes, we haven't really made anything recent. Like, I think these are the two last scarves and they're mine. The hoodie we did not this past Christmas, the one before that, and we did it per order because, like, again, we don't want to put ourselves out there monetarily wise. So they were per order with sizes. We had some samples, I think, with nothing on the front. It's just a plain black hoodie, for instance. And you got your sizes and then take your money and then we'll get you the product when they come in. And same with the hats, sizes. We had a few in red, stuff that we want to be doing again, but it's kind of been difficult not getting together, and it's been a little difficult in that sense. But it's we get requests every now and again, nothing crazy. I think this was the latest thing we made just because, well, given the times we're in, like, hey, why not? Let's see if they'll go. And some of the more hardcore guys and girls bought into that as well.
Anything to satisfy the members, but the good looking stuff, good looking merch, Maurizio. And the in closing, where do you see Milan this year? You don't have to be a jinx like me, right? You don't know how to do predictions, but you don't have to be like
I don't do
Francis last
predictions.
week. You don't do predictions, but
No, I don't do predictions, but I also don't manage my expectations.
oh, I like it. So how about you just give me who's your player of the season? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
We'll put it this way. I was thinking about this. I wanted to get this out there. Is that I don't know any team that goes into a season saying, "Nah, if we finish in 6th, I'll be happy." No, I don't care what team you are. You want to win the whole thing. And I think Ibra said it. I'm not sure when exactly. I can't quote what he said, but he said, "I'm not here to finish 6th, 5th, or whatever. I'm here to win it all." And that should be the mentality from the get-go. Okay, as your season progresses, your expectations then can be adjusted. But from the start, you should be wanting to win the whole damn thing. I don't care what team you are. You don't go into a thing, I'm just here to play a few games, get paid. I don't think that's the correct mentality.
I hear Stevie P's voice in yours, Mauri. It's the same thing. It's like, I don't want to settle for this. I want to settle for number one. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
We do have Juventus on Wednesday. But I wanted to say thank you for taking the time.
It was a pleasure.
I know that we have rivalries in hockey and, Montreal and Toronto. But for Milan clubs are okay. Maybe you and Presidente have a healthy little rivalry between yourselves, but there's no such thing. There's no such thing as
the healthy rivalry. There is just having my notifications on WhatsApp on private, so he doesn't see when I'm online or offline. I know it really annoys him. So,
President is going to be listening. He's like, okay, I get it, but no. But
I've told him numerous times. The more he tells me that it annoys him, the more I'm not going to turn them back on. So far, we're leaving them off.
It's so guys, Milan Club Toronto, Milan Club Montreal, we're exactly the same in just two parallel worlds. So I love it. Maritz, thank you very much. And for anybody that's interested, check him out online. And Maritz is just like me. He's a wrestling fan, even though Steve hates it when I mention wrestling. But I'm telling you, I'm gathering. We're going to become another WhatsApp group, Maurizio, wrestling / Milan group. We'll
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Have yourself a good night.
You too. Thanks.